This isn't just another church event. This is Impartation Conference, March 13th through 15th in Atlanta, Georgia. And this time, it's personal.
We are building a safe space where you can love God without fear, a space where you're not judged, but seen, heard, and honored for who you are.
This is your moment to grow, not just in spirit, but life. The clarity, the shift, the alignment is already happening.
And those dreams you buried, we're reviving them. We're breaking mental caps, tearing down limits, and helping you step into the version of you that was always possible.
This is more than a conference. It's a homecoming for your soul. Break free, grow deep, dream bold. Join us March 13th to 15th at the Renaissance Atlanta Airport Gateway Hotel. Register now at impartationconference.org.
My people, my people, my people, my people, my people. How are y'all doing today? Welcome to part 3 of Who's Black in Part 3, Black in America, Who Speaks for the Black American. Today we're going to be talking about how white supremacy will have people thinking that they can tell the Black American what's best for them, that we can be schooled on genocide, and for some reason that we're bamboozled because we would choose Kamala Harris over Donald Trump. And there are literally people, immigrants, I guess American Palestinians, Muslims, or whoever, that feel like they know more than us about what's best for America. And I come to tell you, they don't. So who speaks for America? We do. And we got our special guest today, none other than the Shantae Charles. She's been with me the last 3 weeks. She's going to be talking to us and sharing with us one of the smartest women that I know. I have her title hyperlinked in her name and YouTube rather, hyperlinked in the YouTube title as well in the video description. So when we come back, I'm going to speak to you guys a little bit more, and then we're going to bring Shantae up. But if you want to know who speaks for the Black American, then you want to be in this conversation. If you are not a Black American and you want to know how you can be a part of the conversation, because just because you don't speak for us don't mean you can't speak with us. So if you want to learn how to be in the conversation, then you want to be a part of this too. So don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Safe Space, refuge for growth and healing. Want to be connected to all that Safe Space has to offer? Join our email community. Stay in the loop with inspirational insights and updates. Join our email community and connect with like-minded individuals on the path to self-discovery. Sign up now.
Find your tribe in a safe, supportive space. Join the Safe Space private community and connect with others who get it. We're waiting for you. Stay connected wherever you are with lives and video drops. Text V Terrell Hill to 833-458-3658 for instant updates and powerful insights. Join the text community now. Curious about what's next? Book an intuitive tarot reading with V Terrell Hill and get the clarity you need. Your future awaits. Heal from within and transform your life. Schedule a soul healing consultation and take the first step towards wholeness. Start your journey today.
Click the Linktree link inside of the description box connected to this video for all of what the Safe Space universe has to offer.
All right, we're back. Welcome to Safe Space Live. My name is V Terrell Hill, and I want you to know that you are in for a very educational and thought-provoking conversation with none other than friend of the show and personal friend, Shantae Charles. If you want to be notified when I come live, text VTRL Hill to 833-458-3658. I'll be live again on this Monday. We had a wonderful show this past Monday talking about, oh God, Nicki Minaj, T.S. Madison, Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens, and everybody else. And then Thursday, we had a reaction room where we just had a great conversation, just talking with our friend, Lord, LaQuisha Harris. LaQuisha Harris. All right. So text VTRL Hill to 833-458-3658 to be notified when I come live. If you're enjoying this show, if you enjoyed all of the 3 series, you want to support this platform, the Cash App is Safe Space VTH, PayPal, Zelle, info at VTRLHill.com, and the Venmo is at VTRL Hill. P.O. Box 221, Worcester, North Carolina is the P.O. Box. If you send me something nice, I'll open something nice. All right. Okay. Last but not least, do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Like, share, subscribe, and comment before we get ready. Do me a favor and like, share, subscribe, and comment, because we're about to get into this discussion, and we don't really be doing a lot of announcements once we get in. Hey, everybody, Moni, Aretha, Marcellus, Nichelle, Just Being Me, Stefan, Jan, all of you guys. It's good to have you all on here, okay? All right, without further ado, let's bring friend of the platform and personal friend, none other than Shantae Charles. Hold on. Remove. There you go. Shantae Charles is with us today. Hey, Shantae, how you doing?
I am doing well. And yourself?
I am doing excellent for a Saturday at 11:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm doing excellent. Have you been enjoying these last 3 weeks?
I have. It's given me a lot to think about.
Yeah.
I've actually gone back and read some of the comments, and after we do a debriefing of the show, I do stay a few minutes behind to kind of see what the ongoing conversation has been. And so it's given me a lot to self-reflect on and to think about some of the deeper and broader questions that have been brought up. So it's been very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, we cannot be afraid to have real conversation at all. We can, and let me say this, we cannot be afraid to call a spade a spade. Whether someone gets offended or not, it is important in this time that we just call it what it is. And though protest doesn't look like marching as much as it did back in the day. Of course, you can still march as much as it did back in the day. I think the ability to flat-footed tell the truth as a Black person in America is honoring all the work that our forefathers and ancestors have done in this country. And so I appreciate you, Shantae, for coming on here and doing just that. Okay. So let's get into it. I thought it would not robbery to talk about have this part 3, because what I noticed in the election was there are a lot of non-Black Americans telling Black Americans how they should vote, and disparaging Black Americans because I guess we were not educated enough on the genocide that was going on in Palestine and other places. And I thought that was quite ironic that they thought they could tell us what we needed to know as if we did not know. And so go ahead and just pull the plug and open us up and let's rock and roll.
So one of the things that we sort of talked about in terms of framing this conversation is the fact that Black Americans, since our time in this country, okay, we know we have different kinds of Black Americans. So I want to, excuse me, I want to respect that as a caveat to this conversation.
Yes.
But we're talking about in terms of the transatlantic slavery trade. Black Americans in this country have been under some form of an ongoing genocide. And so, and that's not hyperbolic. Okay. When you look at enslavement, when you look at Black codes, when you look at peonage, when you look at Jim Crow, and now we have an administration that's really trying to return us to 1619, and not just rolling back civil rights,
Mhm.
But when you have a government that is trying to delegitimize your citizenship,
Mm.
people need to understand that that's beyond rolling back your civil rights. That's trying to take you back to non-personhood.
Correct. Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So again, when we talk about an ongoing genocidal system, Black people in America have been under that ongoing system.
Right.
It has evolved, it has changed in some forms, it
Mhm.
has grown little branches to it.
Right.
But if you look at the root system of it, it's always been a genocidal system.
Right.
So
Right.
then to come and tell us we don't know or we don't understand the gravity
Mhm.
of what is happening,
Right.
that's what has been, for a lot of Black Americans, that's what's been insulting
Yes.
because you are treating us in this very paternalistic
Mhm.
manner.
Mhm.
You're kind of patting us on the head saying, "Okay, you little Black people over there,
Yes.
we've got it from here. You
Yeah.
know what to do.
Mhm.
You know, you all." They're basically infantilizing a
Mhm.
whole community of people.
Mhm.
And so Black Americans understand what that infantilizing looks like because that was a part of Jim Crow.
Right. Correct.
Our great grandparents saw that infantilizing behavior. They lived through it.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
now that we're on the other side of that, to then have a new generation sort of feeling that way and experiencing that from people outside of the community,
Mhm.
that's where you're starting to see the pushback.
Mhm.
That's where you're starting to see Black people say, "Hey, we've been in this thing and we didn't get this far by not understanding how to navigate these systems of harm."
Right. Right. Right.
And so, yeah.
I think we need to highlight that. Black people in America did not get this far without knowing how to navigate these systems of harm. I'm going to say that again. That is an extremely important point. Black people in America did not get this far without knowing how to navigate these systems of harm. So it seems like people would be coming to us to be educated on how to circumvent the system, not
Mhm.
to educate us on how we don't know about the system. That's a beautiful point. Okay, go ahead, Shantae.
And so when we say the word harm reduction, because I did kind of
Mhm,
go back to look at, well, what is harm reduction?
mhm,
Most people, when they hear the words harm reduction, even in the research, it's always been geared towards health,
mhm,
like health outcomes,
mhm,
reducing harm
mhm,
for people who are homeless or dealing with drug treatment and stuff like that.
mhm.
But now you're starting to see the words harm reduction used in the political lens.
Yes.
And that is largely because Black people have been saying,
Mhm.
we understand that we don't have perfect choices when it comes to our political process.
Correct.
We
Correct.
understand we understand that. We're not painting anybody as this just fairy tale 100% perfect candidate,
Yes.
regardless of what political lens you're looking for.
Mhm,
What we are saying is, who can we, number one, again, negotiate with, who
mhm.
can we navigate with,
Right.
and who can we actually get through
Mhm.
to be even able to be at a table for negotiation.
Correct. Correct.
So during this last election cycle, when Black people were talking about harm reduction, a
Mhm,
lot of people were making it very black and white.
mhm.
You
Yes.
are either this or you are either that.
Right.
And because Black people could, sort of see that, listen, and I want you to bring up that spectrum of pseudo supremacy
Mhm,
graphic for people.
mhm, mhm.
Because as I was
Which
navigating myself in how to talk about this,
uh-huh.
it's in your Facebook Messenger inbox.
Okay. All right. Got it. Uh-huh.
So as I was trying to navigate this conversation, even before the election, the visual image came to me about pseudo supremacy being on a spectrum
Mm-hmm.
and how many of us were trying to say, okay, this is what pseudo supremacy is, white supremacy is, but really it's a spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
And what I saw was on one end of the spectrum, you have the paternalists, you have the people that are telling you this is what
Uh-oh. You
input.
froze. Okay, there you go. You're good now. You're good.
Okay, this is what's best for you. We don't necessarily want your input.
Mm-hmm.
We just want to basically tell you what to do and how to operate, which is what we're seeing a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other end of that same spectrum is extermination.
Right. Right.
And so that's what we had to that's what I had to understand, I know for
Yeah.
myself.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So on one end, you have the white people who may mean well,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's coming off as paternalism. And then on the other end, you have the far right who are saying, we don't want to negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want your existence at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we talk about harm reduction and navigating harm, because we are all in a system of pseudo supremacy, this is what you're dealing with.
Right. 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 Yeah. Now, let me ask you this. Do you think, and I'm going to say the extreme, I'm not going to just pick on the extreme leftists, but extreme
Mhm.
leftist paternalism, the extreme right, extermination. So that's
Mhm.
really the whole spectrum. You got the extreme left who you don't know what's best for the country that
Mhm.
we do. You got the extreme right, and especially with the America Fest going on, I have heard this so many times this week, Shantae, that white men are up under attack in America, and that literally they're saying that white men are up under attack in America, and the attorney general is about to open up, or they have some kind of special office for white men to come report what
Mhm.
has gone wrong with them. And and it's this picture perfect. We need to get back to the way it was, apple pie white America. So that's extreme right. Um,
Mhm.
let's take the extreme right out for a second. Extreme left. Do you think they are inadvertently anti-black or inherently anti-black?
I think that some of it is implicit bias.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think some of it is implicit bias.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because again, you do have all of these different groups.
Mm-hmm.
And so many of them are coming from what they've been told about Black Americans.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming from their families' uh, instructions about Black Americans coming
Right.
here.
Right.
They're coming from the massive, several decades long, centuries long
Mm-hmm.
targeting of Black Americans' character through media.
Right.
Like I don't think sometimes a lot of people understand how many ways that Black Americans are fighting cultural, socioeconomic,
Mm-hmm.
political stereotypes and tropes
Mm-hmm.
just to be heard.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah.
So you're swimming through a lot that you've got to deal with about people's inherent biases and implicit biases coming at you
Mm-hmm.
while you're trying to be heard.
Right.
And I felt like that's what happened in this past election is that we were swimming through so much inherent biases that we simply were not being fully heard.
You were not being heard.
And but here's the powerful part about it. Even though we were not fully heard, the majority of us collectively as a consciousness still chose to follow what our truth was in this country.
Correct. Correct.
And when the data settled,
Mm-hmm.
right? When
Mm-hmm.
the data settled,
Mm-hmm.
everybody saw what was what.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody also saw that within certain other ethnic groups, they were divided. We were not.
Correct.
The majority of us voted for harm reduction.
Correct. And let me highlight something real quick, including black men, because there was this false narrative out there that black men left the country hanging. That's not true. The
No,
great, the great majority. I'm talking about there was a single digit minority, I believe, of black men who voted outside of harm reduction. But the rest of black men followed black women, because I believe the trend is to always follow black women and voted for harm reduction. And I want to highlight this too. The reason why we're saying harm reduction is not because we're saying that, Democratic leaders are not trashy. What we are saying is that if we had to choose which one will reduce harm in America, specifically in 2024, it was Kamala Harris. If we had to choose which one would have done less harm with this Palestine-Israeli conflict, it would have been Kamala Harris. If we had to choose which nation outside of Black America that would have been safer and treated more humane, it would have been Kamala Harris. That's harm reduction. Whether she took money from AIPAC or not, we can deal with that. But we're talking about harm reduction. And a lot of this also deals with reasoning too, which there's a lack of in our culture, just proper reasoning. And the reason why I believe that's because a lot of these people, including these Palestinian Americans who are white passing, never had to navigate this racial infrastructure we've had to navigate. So we understand reasoning. All right, that's my fuss. Go ahead.
no. And I feel like that even in the percentage, because now people are trying to dig a little bit deeper into that data, even in the percentage of Black people who voted the opposite way, they're now coming back to say some of that was not Black American.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They were Black, but they were not Black American.
Correct.
So that's a different conversation.
Correct.
But going back to these extreme
Mm-hmm.
positions that we talked about, right? When we look at what harm reduction is supposed to do, and someone in your comments, I wanted to come back to their thought. Someone in the comments said that white people do not want us gone. Let's clarify what we're talking about when we say white. I want to clarify that very quickly. There are white folks in this country, and then there is whiteness. And in the system of whiteness, which not only white people can function in, but also non-white people can function in.
Correct.
There are very much people who want us gone and erased from the country.
And some of those people look like us.
Yes. Absolutely. We talked about that last week. I think some of you did your homework on that when we talked about meritorious manumission. And the people who get rewarded for participating in a system of erasure, not recognizing that once their use is up, they too will be erased. But that's what when we say white, we're really talking about the system of whiteness.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Let me highlight this real quick, and then let's move on. Let's use Palestine, for example. It has been said that Palestinians can be extremely bigoted against specific communities, the LGBTQ community. They're extremely racist against Black people. They don't think of Black people as they should. And why am I saying this? Because inherently, you could be operating in anti-Blackness and don't know it because it's unchecked. Because you're in your righteous warrior move and you didn't even check your own bloodline. because your blood would do the same thing to me that the Israelis is doing to you if you had a chance. And so when you're going to, prime example, me as a black man, as I'm on this righteous war, Shantae, I always have to stop and check my heart to make sure that I do not hate white people, because this is not about hate. This is not about an inherent dislike towards anything that's not black. This is about centering black people in my life and being vocal about that, not getting rid of a group. It's just highlighting the group that I love and I am. And I think that if you're going to be a social warrior, the first person you need to check is you. And if you are not in a continual mirror, checking your motives or intent, you could be pushing anti-blackness because grandma taught you that and you don't even know it. All right.
You're right.
That's my other fuss. Go ahead.
You're right. And I do want to say that there are Afro-Palestinians. Okay. We also have to understand that there has historically, and this is something I realized that, again, some people did not know or were not aware of, but historically, there has been Black Palestinian solidarity. Okay. When you have Black liberation movements like the Black Panthers, there were Palestinians that were struggling with us, that were standing with us for Black life. But again, this comes back to people knowing their history. Because if you don't know your history, you will begin to do what they've done to us, which is categorize us and say all Blacks do X, Y, Z.
Right. That part.
So we do have to understand that history there as well.
That part. Okay, so we talked about the spectrum of white alleged supremacy. What do you call it? White
pseudo supremacy.
White pseudo supremacy. You got paternalism, where they're trying to parent you and tell you how to navigate, and then you got extermination, where they don't want you around. All right, move us to the next part.
So again, with that spectrum, if you could put it back up there one more time so people can see it. The point that I want to make with this spectrum is that white people who are not, as you said, investigating and interrogating their inherent bias, you're gonna sit somewhere on that spectrum.
Correct.
That's what I want you to understand.
Correct.
So when I hear white people say, I'm not racist because I sleep with somebody that's Black, I have mixed race children, okay? The question then becomes, have you interrogated your own personal bias?
Absolutely.
If you have not done that, then more than likely you're sitting toward the paternalist side of the spectrum.
Correct.
So you may not be the white person that's saying Black people shouldn't exist, but you could very well be the white person saying, I know better than Black people about their own experience, lived experience in America.
I feel like there are a lot of unknowingly ignorant but innocent white people who really was trying to help and be a voice, and they got shut out, and they were like, well, what did I do? I was trying to help. Because you didn't check yourself first. Now, Shantae is saying get real professional. I'm gonna say it another way. You can hear, however you're gonna hear it, you're gonna hear it. You didn't check yourself first, and you came in trying to parent us versus parroting what we were saying. We don't need parents, we need parrots, if I can use the P's. And so you can't, so there's some of you, even during that, the 2020s and the Black Lives Matter movement and the protests, and for some reason you got shunned out, or you were picked on, or you felt like I was really innocent and I don't know what went wrong. Maybe because your approach, you came in like a parent and not like an echo. And that's important, because I really believe there are some white people out there that sincerely want to be on the right side of history. You gotta look in the mirror, because there could be a deep inherent bias that's never been checked before. Yeah. And one more thing, just because you're surrounded by Black people don't mean they don't want to be like you, because they might be Black, but totally into whiteness. So you cannot use, you got 4 Black friends as I can't be me, because some of these niggas want to be parented. All right. You know, like for real. So, some of y'all, you get off on white acceptance. So just because you're married to a Black person, or you got Black friends, or you go to a Black church, does not mean you're not on the spectrum. If you ain't checked yourself, you're on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So I want to also qualify, which is us moving to this next part here. I want to qualify me saying that Black people have a really good understanding of genocide and the ongoing genocide, and the ways that we can navigate through the system by talking about the 10 stages of genocide. And I think this is important because what I'm finding is people not really recognizing that we are already in these stages. They are not coming in the near future.
Right.
We are already in them.
Right.
And so, and I think I've talked about this before here on your platform, my issue has always been whatever kind of Black you identify as, if you are melanated, you are a target.
Correct.
And I don't think any system right now has demonstrated that more than what is happening with ICE. If you are melanated, because now the Supreme Court has given them permission to target you based on your aesthetics, based on your identifiers.
Right.
So if you are melanated, you are subject to being rounded up.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So I want us to look at the stages of genocide. I don't know if you can play that short video. It's a short video. It's like 1.5 minutes.
Is it on
But
YouTube? Is a YouTube link?
Yes, it's in the private chat.
Is it on the I see it. Okay, hold on one second.
So before you hit play, I want people to, as they're mentioning the stages, I want you to think about where are we in America, because these stages are not happening like stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. They can be happening simultaneously.
Right.
So if you would go ahead and play that.
Genocide develops in 10 stages that are predictable. At each stage of genocide, preventive measures can be used to stop it. The process is not linear, and stages may occur at the same time. Classification is the first stage. All cultures have categories to distinguish people into us and them by ethnicity, race, religion, or nationality. Bipolar societies that lack mixed categories, such as Rwanda and Burundi, are the most likely to have genocide. One of the most important classifications in the current nation-state system is citizenship and a nationality. Removal or denial of a group's citizenship is a legal way to deny the group's civil and human rights. Native Americans were not granted citizenship in the USA until 1924, after centuries of genocide that decimated their populations. The first step for the genocide of Jews and Roma in Nazi Germany were the laws to strip them of their German citizenship. Burma's 1982 citizenship law classified Rohingyas out of national citizenship. In India, the Citizenship Act denies a route to citizenship for Muslim refugees. We can prevent the harmful effects of classification by developing institutions that transcend ethnic or racial divisions. We must actively promote tolerance and understanding and develop classifications that transcend divisions. Follow Genocide Watch's 10 Stages campaign on our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
All right, you can stop it there.
Yeah. Okay.
So classification, there again, there's 10 stages.
Mm-hmm.
And in the chat, V Terrell, there's an actual link that will show you all 10 stages if you want to bring that up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
you see there very clearly that classification is one of the stages. So when you hear our government talking about we want to challenge birthright citizenship,
Mm-hmm.
that is classification. Because if I can take away your citizenship, if I can um, take away your ability to have civil rights,
Mm-hmm.
that is a part of genocide.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have symbolization. That's when you start being marked and labeled with specific symbols. Most people recognize that from the Holocaust
Yeah.
when they made them wear the yellow star
Mm-hmm.
as a symbolized identification of these people are on the out group, right? Then, of course, you have discrimination, you have dehumanization, you have organization, meaning there's an organized, outright public campaign against you, which our country is also doing. You have polarization, meaning that you're splitting us off from the rest of the population. We have that going on. All you have to do is look in V. Terrell's comments today, and you'll see the polarization.
Correct. Yeah.
They're literally the genocidal people are literally in his comments today. They are the proof again that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah.
And then there's the preparation for erasure. There's the persecution. And what people don't understand about that persecution, it first started with the government sort of relaxing protections around the certain group.
Mm-hmm.
And as the government pulled back from protecting them, their own citizens began to attack them because they saw that the government was being lax in their protection against those citizens. So then the persecution was not just coming from the government, but it was also coming from their fellow citizens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so look at the level of attacks that have increased, not just toward Jewish people in this country, but look at the levels of attacks that have increased against Asians. And of course, ours has been ongoing. I'm going to keep saying that.
Yes.
It's been ongoing.
Yes. Yes. And more. Yes.
So when you look at these stages, okay, then you have extermination.
Mm-hmm.
Black people in this country have been dealing with all kinds of extermination processes since the beginning. That's why I keep saying it is ongoing. Mm-hmm. All right. And then, of course, there's a denial. There's a denial that any of this is happening, that any of this is going down. So when you go and study the 10 stages of genocide, you will realize that Black people have been enduring this process. So when you come to us and tell us we don't understand what genocide is, that's why Black people are looking at you sideways like, what do you mean? We don't understand.
Right. 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 Yeah. And it's absolutely ridiculous that we were being schooled. Like you got those Hassan Pikers and the Young Turks and all of these that really feel like they have the skinny on what's good for America. Listen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to bring up another special guest. Shantae's husband is going to come on, and we're going to chat a little bit more. We're about 40 minutes in. We're doing good today, Shantae. We're about 40 minutes in. Listen, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This isn't just another church event. This is Impartation Conference, March 13th through 15th in Atlanta, Georgia. And this time, it's personal.
We are building a safe space where you can love God without fear, a space where you're not judged, but seen, heard, and honored for who you are.
This is your moment to grow, not just in spirit, but life. The clarity, the shift, the alignment is already happening.
And those dreams you buried, we're reviving them. We're breaking mental caps tearing down limits, and helping you step into the version of you that was always possible.
This is more than a conference. It's a homecoming for your soul. Break free, grow deep, dream bold. Join us March 13th to 15th at the Renaissance Atlanta Airport Gateway Hotel. Register now at impartationconference.org.
Safe Space, refuge for growth and healing. Want to be connected to all that Safe Space has to offer? Join our email community. Stay in the loop with inspirational insights and updates. Join our email community and connect with like-minded individuals on the path to self-discovery. Sign up now.
Find your tribe in a safe, supportive space. Join the Safe Space private community and connect with others who get it. We're waiting for you. Stay connected wherever you are with lives and video drops. Text V Terrell Hill to 833-458-3658 for instant updates and powerful insights. Join the text community now. Curious about what's next? Book an intuitive tarot reading with V Terrell Hill and get the clarity you need. Your future awaits. Heal from within and transform your life. Schedule a soul healing consultation and take the first step towards wholeness. Start your journey today.
Click the Linktree link inside of the description box connected to this video for all of what the Safe Space universe has to offer.
Hello, everybody. My name is V. Terrell Hill, and welcome to Safe Space Live. You are watching a very special episode, a three-part series on being Black in America. And in today's title is called Who Speaks for Black America? Talking about the spectrum of white pseudo supremacy, where you got paternalism versus extermination. Are you trying to parent us or exterminate us when you should be echo and parroting us as Black people? If there is any group that has learned how to navigate this horrific racist system, it is Black Americans. And even still, with everything going on and everything set up against us, we're doing nothing but evolving faster, quicker. We're rising in consciousness. We understand it. We can switch it, turn it, flip it, bake it, and flap it and jack it. Okay? If there's anybody that should be sitting at our feet, it's Black and brown people all over the world and asking, how in the world did you guys do it? Because we did it and we did it well. Black Americans are some of the best of Black people in the world, in the universe, and in existence. And I say that 10 toes down unapologetically. And if you don't like it and you're white, I don't care. If you don't like it and you're Black, then we'll talk about it. All right? Hey, if you want to be notified when I come live, text V Terrell Hill to 833-458-3658. Text V Terrell Hill to 833-458-3658 to be notified when I come live. If you want to support this channel, the Cash App is Safe Space VTH. PayPal and Zelle is info@vterrellhill.com, and the Venmo is @vterrellhill. Safe Space VTH is the Cash App. Info@vterrellhill.com is the PayPal and Zelle, and the @vterrellhill is the Venmo. If you send me something nice, I'll open something nice. P.O. Box 221, Worcester, North Carolina 27377. P.O. Box 221, Worcester, North Carolina 27377. Do me a favor real quick. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Okay. All right. Let me get this. Hello, Blikes. Hey. Okay. So let me get this set up real quick. I wasn't prepared to bring a third person on, so bear with me. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do this. Okay. Hey, Robert, how you doing, man?
Good afternoon, Sir Hill.
Yeah. It's a pleasure to see you again. I haven't seen you in about 2 years, man. We've talked, but we haven't seen each other in about 2 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
If you want to know who Robert is, this is the husband of Shantae Charles. Mr. Robert Charles, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Mr. Charles. I am the eye candy for Shantae Charles and the trophy husband. My life experience has been drastically improved because of the wisdom that's expressed to this woman from the spiritual, professional, and most specifically cultural and social understandings of our culture. So without her, I would have been a man lost in the forest. So we thank God for her, what she does, and how she expresses herself in so many social and cultural platforms to bring a good cleansing elixir to the minds and hearts of humanity.
I love. What is your contribution to the conversation, Robert? What you got?
Well, basically, I really want to say, number one, I appreciate the conversation about who speaks for us. And the one thing that really becomes so incredibly realistic for me is that the continual pacification is like I was talking about this in the barbershop today. Is that there is toxic whiteness that's there to destroy the very DNA of blackness. Okay. And what happens is every time this expresses itself in subtle ways, in drastic ways, there is always some means of justification to explain why that's okay and that's just how they are,
Right.
rather than this is toxic and is really going to, destroy the function of this God created humanity that we are. So, what I have to learn and develop and realize is that back in the old days, I'm an older guy in the late 50s, but when you had those bottles that had the little X saying it's poison on it, okay, that let you know, do not drink this, okay, or do not try to consume this. You have messages on various products that this can cause harm or this can cause whatsoever. What I had to learn to do was to know that no matter how beautiful that bottle looks, if there is a target on it that says poison,
Correct.
and you see that through the special ops lens that you have from the spirit, you must understand no matter how kind and soft and velvety the bottle looks or appears, you must make sure not to consume that product.
Absolutely. And I want to highlight this real quick. It has been proven over and over again, when you start centering whiteness, not white people, not centering. When you start drinking the elixir of whiteness, not white people, because there are some white people that are in alignment. They are pure in their intentions. But as Shantae said, there's a difference between white people and whiteness. When you start centering whiteness, you're gonna get poisoned. Period. It seems so oh, I just want a little sip. Oh, just want a little sip. I want a little acceptance. No, you're gonna get poisoned. Yeah.
Well, and the second thing, I just want to make a short mention because this is Shantae's broadcast. I just feel energized, and I don't want to usurp her conversation, but this is her work. The one thing I've learned when the Spirit gave me an unction in 1978, I asked my dad, why are the white religious individuals so angry at the black religious individuals at a rally about love and the Messiah? I could not understand it as a young boy. I could not understand it whatsoever. He didn't really respond to me. So I asked a question to the divine: why is there so much hatred in religious groups that supposedly about love, where the one of the final lines is that the Father is love, the Almighty is love. So literally 20 years to the date, I began to see and understand and became really a professional student of this thing through the Spirit. And me being the kind of technical profession, STEM-based profession, STEAM-based profession that I am in, I've always, as a child, learned how to take things apart meticulously, to see how it works, and to put it back together. And when I have done that, not just from a technical or a building something real like I do in the profession, but to do it from a cultural perspective, my dad always taught me, it's not what people do, but why are they doing it?
Absolutely.
So in my process of research, I began to research things very simple. Like, for example, Spirit led me to the research, who is King James. I said, well, that's the name on the books.
Mm-hmm.
The Spirit said, that's not what I asked you. I said, who is it? So when I began to research, the intensifying audacity of toxicity through
Mm-hmm.
this individual.
Mm-hmm.
When I started looking at the one of the biggest religious systems in the entire world, centered in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
I began to see that the constitutions that were made, in my word, were made to be toxic to
Mm-hmm.
Black people and was deemed as something from the Almighty.
Mm-hmm.
So when I began to look at those foundations, I looked at why there's so much energy to be this ridiculously wicked.
Mm-hmm.
And people, and I think to me, one of the common denominators of all this, atrocity is believing that they are doing something for God or the divine or the creator, which is the most misguided experience that has led 600 years of utter destruction of our communities.
Robert, Shantae, Franklin Graham, this very week, Franklin Graham was at the Department of War, and he says that people should remember that God is a God of hate and God is a God of war.
Wow.
Franklin Graham this week said that at the Department of War. And they're
again,
deputizing harming people by
yeah.
using God. Go ahead, Shantae.
Mm-hmm. No, I was going to say, well, we have to remember that Kenny Loggins Christ
Mm-hmm.
is their God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So exactly what you said. And let's tie that in to the conversation we're having.
Yeah.
Because now if God tells you who to take out, now you can justify the genocide you're doing in his name.
Absolutely.
From the 1400s.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is a reality that we as Black people see, it's a slippery slope, because when you talk about who speaks for Black America, I also want to say your white voice don't speak for the Black church and how we have church either. And
Exactly.
unfortunately, there was this idea that Black church was wrong and white church was right. So then everybody, we're not going to sing them songs. We're going to be doing all that dancing. We're going to be doing all of this because we wanted to be more mega than be true to who we were. Not understanding that to assimilate to that style of worship is to accept that God of that, the God of that style, which don't want you.
Well, and the other piece of that, because I'm gonna take it and adjust that just a little bit, because CCM is not theirs either.
Well, who the heck CCM come from?
Andre Crouch.
Ah, right.
Those were the originators of CCM, but it got extracted from, and it got appropriated until the soul was extracted out of it.
Yeah.
And then you got all of these communities that got birthed from that. And then you had Black people again looking at something that was extracted from us.
Right.
And being told that it was better.
Right.
The same way that Christ left Africa Black. But if you go to Africa now, you'll see all of these pictures of a Christ that looks like Kenny Loggins.
Absolutely.
So how do you get a Christ from out of Africa? And then when you go back to Africa now, he's not African.
He's white. Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And one last thing, I'll just say this, and I'll be off. Okay, I don't want to belabor too long. When you begin to, the very first message I learned as a memory verse or whatever, study to show yourself to prove to be a workman, rightly dividing the truth, and that phraseology of rightly dividing. So what that has done for me is to not just go by the emotions of what people are saying, not just to go by the cultural idioms that are happening on any particular side of culture, but to look at the historical receipts and look at the details and the directives and the legislation that has led to the genocide. And in every single case of the legislation, it has gone on for years. Like, for instance, when the British Parliament were having an expression about what is the slave trade ordeal, two of the top explorers came and said, this Robert Norris this is one of the most exciting times of their lives. And then Parliament said, well, because of the words of these explorers and very wealthy, then we'll keep this thing going. So we have to understand is that. And in the second case, there's a book that was written by the dean of the Divinity School of Harvard in the 1900s that talked about how the Negro is not part of the human race. So in every instance, you have a spiritual connection, whether they acknowledge it or not, that has stemmed from the ancestral nature of their hatred, because the hatred comes from one central thing: steal, kill, and destroy. That's what the three-part full messages of the adversary, and you see it operating in every aspect of legislation and majority culture to do something to God's people.
Yeah, I love. Thank you
I'm
so
done.
much, Robert. I appreciate it. You done opened up a whole nother can of worms over here. Thank you so much for joining us. And we must chat soon. All right, sir?
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Be blessed, brother. Be blessed. When we talk about race and religion, I think that's the part, Shantae, and I'm glad that Robert came up and said what he said, because that's the part that I felt like we should have never allowed outside voices. I don't think that's not whiteness' fault. That's our fault. We, generally speaking, allowed white voices to make us believe there is no such thing as color. We're all God's children. God is love. And we assimilated to that where they were just talking it. And a lot of Black people are just finding out now that we were not in the same pot together at all. And that's something that really burns my bubble. There are certain churches you won't find me at because it's too close to whiteness. And it's full of Black people. It's just jumping and all this kind of carrying on. It don't look like being the God I found and learned and discovered.
And you know what I call that? I call that white souled Black bodies.
Yes.
And again, when I say white souled, I'm not talking about white people. I'm talking about the nature of extracting from our community, whitewashing our cultural practices, and then handing them back to us as if they are made better.
Yes.
No, the ring shout was good.
Right.
The tambourine was good.
Absolutely.
The choir is still good.
Yes.
The psalms, the hymns, the spiritual songs.
Yes.
The griot is still good.
Yes.
Like all of those things that oftentimes have gotten demonized.
Correct.
Which also, by the way, is a part of genocide. A part of genocide is to
erase the culture.
Have people mocking, not just erasing your culture, but mocking it. I'm going to mock you before I erase you.
It's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. And the thing is, when you think about it, just like when you compare a whiteness Thanksgiving with a Blackness Thanksgiving, that's the difference between whiteness church and Blackness church. And we took all the seasoning salt out of a church service. Think about country westerns versus R&B. And I like country western songs, but it's something when you get somebody that sing in their Blackness. Think about sport. Every time Blackness is involved, it supersizes it. It colorizes it. It beautifies it. And the worship should have never been whitewashed. Oh my God.
But again, look like you're gonna have to do part 4. But again, we also have to understand part of the reason of I've got to whitewash this because I also understand the power of it.
Mm-hmm.
See, if I don't whitewash it and I don't extract the soul from it,
Mm-hmm.
then you're going to do what your ancestors did, which is get free.
Right. 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 Right.
The
Like,
most successful slave revolt in the Western Hemisphere was IAT. Okay, the Haitian Revolution.
mm-hmm.
And how did they get free?
Mm-hmm.
They got free through their spiritual practice. They got free through their practical practice of fighting back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the main thing that they were utilizing was their spiritual practice.
Yes.
And so if I can strip you of your cultural and spiritual practices, and you willingly, in some cases, hand me the keys on how to strip you
Right.
from your spiritual and cultural practices,
Right.
I will have your lineage
Mm-hmm.
under captivity for another 400 years.
Right. 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 Because let's not act like the Jerry Falwells and them did not see an opportunity to politicize religion,
Mm-hmm.
stay coverted to keep racism in a covert way. Let's not
Absolutely.
act like Liberty University and all that whole movement wasn't one big political movement covered by religion and conservatism to keep whiteness going. And so if you don't think that somebody didn't sit in a room and say, we got to dismantle the power of the Black church, how do you think the civil rights movement was so effective? The Black church. So it doesn't surprise me after a while, people started coming for the Black church. Well, if you want, I've said this 1,000 times and then we'll get off of this. I never forget, we were talking to a consultant, me and the pastor I was with at the time. The consultant said to us, if you want to grow your church, you got to stop all that jumping and shouting.
Mm-hmm.
He said you need to have two services. Have a main service that's really like calm and regular, because nobody's going to come if it's not calm and regular. And then have a Sunday night service where y'all do all that. And of course, it was a white man. And there are so many people who bit the bullet because they wanted to be mega versus being Black. And I'm done because I'm passionate about this topic. I need to breathe.
Looks like we're gonna have to come back for part 4 because I am I'm beyond passionate about the topic. I spent our ministry launched in Virginia. And our time in Virginia, we were in the midst of we came to Virginia at a time right before all of the stuff that happened with Charlottesville. We lived in the region. There were active, and still are, there are active Klan covens in that region. We were getting notices on our doorstep from the local Klan.
Wow.
So I've got, like I said, we'll have to do a whole other show on that. But going back to this overarching topic of genocide, the thing I want us to leave with today, because I know we have to get off soon.
Oh God, it's an hour and 4 minutes. Yeah.
The thing I want to leave us with today is, if you are melanated, not just Black American, if you are melanated, genocide is coming for you. It's coming for your family. That's why I want to go through the stages today, because somebody who will be listening who thinks that this is just about eliminating Black Americans in power. No, their ultimate plan is a completely non-melanated world. They may start with us here in America, but it won't end with us. And again, they're showing you that through the ICE raids.
Yeah, absolutely.
Literally snatching anyone who is Black and brown.
Right.
You're not going to have time to tell them, oh, I know Black American, I Dominican.
Right.
You're not going to have time to say, I know Black American, I Panamanian.
Right.
You're not going to have time to say, I know Black, I Latino. I know Black, I Palestinian. I know
Right.
Black, I Somalian.
Right.
Hear me when I say, if you are melanated,
Mm-hmm.
this plan of erasure is about getting rid of all melanated peoples.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Right.
All right.
Right. And let me say this. Let me share a dog whistle before we go. The Charlie Kirk crowd, God bless their hearts. They at American Fest fighting each other to death right now. I've been watching American Fest. They are, when I tell you they scrapping, nonetheless. The Charlie Kirk crowd is using this dog whistle. God intended for you to grow up, serve him, get married, and have kids. What they're really saying is the white majority is swiftly becoming the minority. And if you do not have kids, we will no longer be the majority. There's this extreme push. They want you to, like the American dream, buy a house, go to school, buy a house, marry a woman, and have kids.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're basically saying is, if we are not careful, and if you go to Elon Musk's thread, he'd be hooting and hollering about it all the time. If we're not careful, we're going to lose our majority. As a matter of fact, let me do this real quick.
I want to give you the actual term for that. It's called the birth girth. The birth dearth. It's actual write-up about it. Scientifically, in order for any ethnic group to be able to reproduce itself, this is where we get the number 2.5. If you ever hear people say, I've got a wife, I got the house, the picket fence, the 2.5 kids. That is the number that every ethnic group must reach in order to make sure that they will keep going in the future.
Right.
And I can tell you right now, white people are way under that.
Right.
And not just white people here in the United States, but around the world. I think some of them are at 1.8, 1.9.
Yeah.
So they already know that they are at the extinction level, meaning they're not reproducing enough of themselves to go into the future.
Right. Right. Look at this. In 1920, white population in America, 89.7. Instead of going through it, let's go to 2025, 59.8. This is what if you're trying to figure out Project 2025 and this, that, and the other, what is the root of all of this? It's this. Because there is a decline of white folk.
Yes, they are in the fight. They are in the fight of their life for genetic domination and posterity and future existence. That's what all of this is centered around.
Yes.
And their immigration policies are centered on, we got to get all of these melanated people out of here. We got to bring in more white people, including the white South Africans, so that white people can meet up with white people and get this population growth back going. That is what this is all about.
Right. Right. And one of the main folks that's hurting this is Vivek Ramaswamy, because Vivek just came out recently saying that American is not a heritage. American is an idea. And he done pissed them people off so bad.
Oh, I bet he has.
Yeah.
Because again, he does not understand the American experiment.
Right. Right. He's learning
He thinks he understands it. This is what we're talking about. When people think they know whiteness in white America better than we do.
Right. And you know what happened? They sent his hips back to Ohio. The guy that was working with Elon Musk for Doge got sent right back to Ohio, and up until recently was relatively quiet. Why? Because he went up there last December telling them white folks that y'all was too busy watching Saved by the Bell when Indians and immigrants were in school learning, and y'all are not as smart. And they kicked him right out of DC, because at the end of the day, Vivek, Elon could be high as a kite on ketamine and accuse Donald Trump of being on the Epstein list and still get an invitation back to the White House, and you're going to be in Ohio and a governor. You're not white, sir. Okay, let me breathe. I'm doing it again. Okay.
Yeah, and so as you said,
Mhm.
they know that by, I think they said 2040, it was initially by 2040,
Mhm.
um, black and brown people will outnumber white people in the US. I think that number, that year has gone down to
Mm.
like 2032 or
Yes.
something like that.
Bet.
So again,
Mhm.
they are trying to get as many black and brown people up out of here.
Mhm.
Here's the key words: by any means necessary.
Right.
And
Right.
the ones who cannot be forced out, the next part of that genocidal stage is gonna start.
Mhm. I love. I
So if
love.
I can't get you out of here
Mhm.
through the means of deportation, the
Mhm.
next step is to start eliminating you
Mhm.
or incarcerating you, which we know is another form of enslavement.
Right. Right.
So I know people don't want to talk about this.
Mhm.
They don't want it laid plain, but this has been my conversation with people every day. If you're on my platform, you know that in some way, shape, or form, we're trying to inform people and tell people, listen, whatever disagreements you have with your black brothers and sisters, I'm gonna need you to either settle them or put them to the side for a moment.
Right.
Because the reality is we are all under threat.
Right. Right. Right.
That's the reality.
Yeah. And let me.
So this is why I don't argue with black people. I
Mhm.
don't get down into the weeds with them because I understand what the larger program is that's happening.
Right. And let me say this. You might think because you are white that you are exempt from this genocide. But when you listen to the language of the right, since Charlie Kirk, they've been saying stuff like they are trying to kill us.
Mhm,
They are trying to exterminate us. And they're using trans, they're using
mhm,
anything possible to bring a separation between
mhm,
them and the alleged enemy. And
mhm.
so even in your white skin, if you are not propagating whiteness, you're also an enemy. So don't you think that because your skin color is going to keep you too far away from this genocide? Because
Mhm,
they is a it's first of all, it's dangerous and it's irresponsible because
mhm.
they didn't kill Charlie Kirk. And if there
Right.
is a they, it's probably Israel, if you ask me. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, they did not shoot up Brown University. They
Right.
did not shoot those National Guard members in DC. But that is what the rhetoric is, as if to bunch a group of people together.
Mhm.
Included in that group, and the majority of that group are black and brown people, specifically black Americans. But don't you think for a second that you are exempt
Your
because
point,
right. Mhm,
and I know we have to go,
mhm,
but you are pointing out something very key here that I think people need to pay attention to.
mhm.
The reality is anyone who can be seen as a threat to population growth
Yes,
is included.
yes,
And for them, if you're LGBTQIA, they see that as
mhm,
anti-family
yes,
and anti-population growth.
yes.
So when the LGBTQIA community
Mhm,
is looking and they're figuring, well, how did we get into this? Why is there this push against us? I mean, I'm not black, but I am LGBTQIA
mhm.
because they see you as anti-family.
Right, right.
They see you as um, the opposite
Mhm.
of this nuclear family idea that they have. So I just wanted to throw that in there as we close.
I love. Okay, if you want to do it, I'll tell you what. If you want to do a part four, Shantae, I'm open to it. We can discuss a date. We can take a break for
Mhm.
the holidays, and we
Yeah.
can do this till we get tired. I don't care. I love it. And so, all right, Shantae, don't go nowhere. Rob, don't go nowhere. I'm gonna bring you back up after we come off the live. I'll be right back, guys. Y'all, what a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful conversation. I want to say to those of you all that are in the comments saying things that are disparaging, you're proving the point, right? And it's okay. Um, we chuckle literally, we get a good laugh at how y'all cut up so bad. Y'all were pretty good today. Last weekend, y'all cut up bad. We call you all the verticals, people that normally see us on the vertical channel. Nonetheless, whether you realize it or not, you've been up under consciousness for an hour, 15 minutes, and approximately 30 seconds. And this that you heard has gotten through your ears and is seeping slowly but surely into your heart. And you're going to wake up one day having thoughts outside of your whiteness and your comfortability. And when that happens, just know that Shantae Charles and V. Terrell Hill has radicalized you on the right side of history. All right. If you want to be notified when I come live, text V. Terrell Hill to 833-458-3658. Text V. Terrell Hill to 833-458-3658. I'll be live this coming up Monday. We're going to have another good show. If you want to support this platform, the Cash App is Safe Space VTH. The PayPal and Zelle is info@vterrellhill.com, and the Venmo is @vterrellhill. P.O. Box 221, Wissett, North Carolina 27377 is the P.O. Box. If you send me something nice, I'll open something nice. I do have a private community you can join for $2.99 a month. The Linktree link is the video description box of the video you're watching now. If you're watching on YouTube, desktop or laptop, there's a join button. You can join that way. I have a spirituality and consciousness community. I teach every Thursday, pray every Saturday. It's joinsafespace.com. 4 days for free, $9.99 a month. You can email me at info@vterrellhill.com. And lastly, but not least, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. All right. We're going to choose a date that we come back. And I think what it's going to be Black in America, Part 4, Race and Religion. All right. Race and religion. Okay. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Happy holidays to some. Merry Christmas to others. If you don't celebrate anyway, take care of yourself. Eat a good meal nonetheless. Spend time with family. For those of you guys that are going through seasonal depression, if it's manageable, do something like a gratitude journal. Take a walk. Go to the mall, get you something to eat, watch a series on Netflix. If it's not manageable, call your primary care provider and see about getting some kind of assistance. But whatever you do, take care of your mental health. Take care of your mind, body, soul, and spirit. Until the next time, y'all be all the way blessed. Good and bye.
This isn't just another church event. This is Impartation Conference, March 13th through 15th in Atlanta, Georgia. And this time, it's personal.
We are building a safe space where you can love God without fear, a space where you're not judged, but seen, heard, and honored for who you are.
This is your moment to grow, not just in spirit, but by the clarity, the shift, the alignment is already happening.
And those dreams you buried, we're reviving them. We're breaking mental caps, tearing down limits, and helping you step into the version of you that was always possible.
This is more than a conference. It's a homecoming for your soul. Break free, grow deep, dream bold. Join us March 13th to 15th at the Renaissance Atlanta Airport Gateway Hotel. Register now at impartationconference.org.
Safe Space, refuge for growth and healing. Want to be connected to all that Safe Space has to offer? Join our email community. Stay in the loop with inspirational insights and updates. Join our email community and connect with like-minded individuals on the path to self-discovery. Sign up now.
Find your tribe in a safe, supportive space. Join the Safe Space private community and connect with others who get it. We're waiting for you. Stay connected wherever you are with lives and video drops. Text V. Terrell Hill to 833-458-3658 for instant updates and powerful insights. Join the text community now. Curious about what's next? Book an intuitive tarot reading with V. Terrell Hill and get the clarity you need. Your future awaits. Heal from within and transform your life. Schedule a soul healing consultation and take the first step towards wholeness. Start your journey today.
Click the Linktree link inside of the description box connected to this video for all of what the Safe Space universe has to offer.